Think of the most ubiquitous brands in technology: Linux, Blender, Android, and Spotify. All these technological titans give their core product away for exactly $0. But let's look at the underlying math. In 2019, the tech giant IBM acquired Red Hat, a company whose primary product is a completely free, open-source operating system, in an astonishing $34 billion. This presents a massive contradiction. If the product is completely free to download, free to use, and free to share across the entire world, where exactly is all that money coming from? To understand our first model, we must shift our perspective on massive corporations. Large enterprises don't buy software just to use it. They buy it to have someone to fix it when things break. This is the lazy enterprise model, perfected by Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Anyone can download Linux for free. But multinational banks and airlines don't want to rely on Reddit forums if their server crashes at 3 a.m. They are paying for a certified, heavily tested version of the software, backed by a legal binding service-level agreement. This agreement guarantees that a dedicated team of world-class engineers is on standby 24/7 to solve any problem. Our second model is the taste test, or the freemium model. The underlying strategy here is brilliant in its simplicity. You give away the basic engine for free, but you charge an absolute premium for the leather seats, the air conditioning, and the steering wheel. By making the entry-level tier free, companies entirely eliminate the friction of user acquisition. You don't need budget approval, you just sign up and start. The calculated genius lies in drawing the invisible line between free and paid. Look at platforms like Slack or Zoom. They give you just enough functionality to make their tools indispensable to your daily workflow. But eventually, you hit the paywall, a message limit, a meeting time limit, or strict administrative security needs. Suddenly, the software is a corporate necessity. Free users act as an unpaid marketing force, smuggling the tools into the office. When the friction of migrating a whole team becomes greater than the cost of upgrading, the company pulls out the corporate card. Free users aren't the product. They are a highly efficient funnel designed to attract premium enterprise clients. As global internet speed exponentially increased and cloud computing systematically took over the world, a new vulnerability in the pure free model quickly emerged. Imagine finding a free recipe for a Michelin-star meal. The recipe provides you with the exact precise measurements, the precise cooking temperatures, and the intricate plating instructions. You still have to buy rare ingredients, cook for hours, and clean up the massive mess. Most people would much rather go to the restaurant and pay the professional chef to do it for them. This brings us to the hosted software as a service. Anyone can go to WordPress.org right now, download the entire content management system for free, buy their own physical server space, manually configure the back-end databases, and diligently maintain their own vital security updates. But managing servers is tedious, complicated, and fraught with cybersecurity risks. So the creator built WordPress.com, a fully hosted, managed version of the same software. You pay a predictable monthly fee, and they handle the hosting, security, and backups. We see this identical pattern across the entire modern tech landscape, from complex databases like MongoDB to massive analytics platforms. The core code is freely available to anyone, but the sheer logistical hassle of maintaining the back-end infrastructure is an absolute nightmare. Convenience is the ultimate monetization strategy. Companies will gladly pay a massive premium to outsource their technical headaches. Now we enter the most controversial territory. There's an old Silicon Valley adage: if you are not explicitly paying for the product, you are the product. When software is designed for billions of individual consumers, monetization aggressively shifts towards harvesting human attention and behavioral data. This manifests through programmatic ad networks, chasing cookies, and lucrative default search partnerships. Take the Mozilla Firefox browser. It is proudly open source and aggressively champions user privacy. Yet it consistently operates with hundreds of millions in yearly revenue. The vast majority comes from a multi-year deal with Google, which pays Mozilla roughly $500 million annually simply to be the default search engine inside Firefox. But why would Google pay so much to a competitor? It is because Google knows that being the default frictionless gateway to the internet guarantees a massive influx of daily search queries. Those queries generate highly targeted ad impressions, which generate billions of dollars. Free software deployed at a global scale acts as a colossal invisible funnel. It effortlessly directs millions of eyeballs and terabytes of behavioral data towards specific search engines, ad networks, and corporate data brokers. But what about the ideological purists? The projects that refuse to lock features behind paywalls or harvest user data? This is our final model, the passion projects, relying on community funding and large-scale corporate grants. Historically, relying on donations meant eventual bankruptcy. But modern platforms like Patreon and GitHub sponsors fundamentally changed the microeconomics of goodwill. Look at Blender, the incredible open-source 3D creation suite used by major animation studios. It survives because of Blender Development Fund. While independent artists contribute a few dollars a month, the real financial stability comes from massive tech corporations like Epic Games, Apple, and Nvidia, who routinely contribute millions in corporate grants. Or consider Wikipedia, maintained entirely by volunteers and proudly ad-free. Because the entire world relies on their database, they routinely raise well over $100 million a year through annual donation drives. When a multi-billion-dollar industry becomes dependent on a free tool, corporate grants aren't charity. They are calculated strategic investment to ensure the critical tool doesn't vanish. When you take a step back and look at these 5 unique models side by side, a very clear, undeniable narrative emerges. We are actively witnessing a fundamental evolution in how economic value is captured. The software industry realized long ago that code itself is no longer a scarce physical resource. Digital code can be perfectly copied and instantly distributed at zero marginal cost. Therefore, selling the code itself is fundamentally a losing battle. Instead, the smartest company gave the code away to build monopolies of scale, community trust, and frictionless convenience. We have officially transitioned from selling software as a rigid product in a cardboard box to the highly lucrative model of selling software as an ongoing essential service. Whether you pay for the peace of mind of an enterprise mechanic, the convenience of cloud hosting, or you trade your raw attention to the highest bidder, make no mistake, you are paying. The software might be entirely free to download, but running the modern world is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Thank you for watching.